Welcome to Digital Manipulation Part 2. So we'll continue our discussion. This takes us up to 2001 in the case of University of Wisconsin. In an attempt to make their campus appear to be a little bit more diverse, they photoshopped an African American student in a group shot at a University of Wisconsin football game. So you can see here where they juxtapose the two images. And as you can imagine, they got some grief for that. But of course, that's certainly a goal of every university is to try to express visually the diversity of its student body. Just kind of for fun, I went and looked online 2 years ago to see what the University of Wisconsin admissions literature looked like. And as you can see, it's still fairly homogeneous here. So there's an image, and then here's another image from a prospective student. And boy, do you recognize this school? Actually, there's a couple of students who took media ethics, but they graduated a few years ago. And then here's another one. Moving along, in 2005, you may recall when Martha Stewart was arrested and convicted and imprisoned for securities fraud or insider trading. And here's an image of her, and then Newsweek took it and, thinned her up just a little bit and put a pink sweater on her. This one's kind of fun. This was an ad put out by Microsoft. And as you can see, the top image was one that was used here in the United States, and it certainly shows their diversity. But can you guess where the bottom photo, where that ad was placed? Most people are pretty good at guessing a European country. This actually is a Polish ad, and to more accurately reflect the population in Poland, they photoshopped out the first guy and put in the second guy. And of course, people think, gee, Microsoft of all companies, that here you have an image of the guy sitting in front of a window, but the light is on the other side of his face. So they were embarrassed by this and issued an apology and obviously a correction as well. This is what I'm calling the photo op diet. Here's Katie Couric, who many of you may have known from the Today Show years back, and then she was briefly the anchor on the CBS Evening News, and now I think she works for Yahoo News, but here she is a little bit more slenderized on camera. Faith Hill, you can see just how ridiculously thin her arm is on the Red Book cover. And Vogue has this certainly gorgeous image of Adele. But this is more of what Adele really looks like. And Vogue is notorious for doing this level of photoshopping. Remember Twiggy? Twiggy, as you can see or guess from the black and white image, she was a modeling phenom in the 1960s. She was known for obviously her short hair, her painted on eyelashes, and probably she was known mostly for her rail thin, skinny figure, hence the name Twiggy. And then here she is today. And there she is in an Oil of Olay ad. And you can see here the copy said, "Olay is my secret to brighter looking eyes," read the ad. "Reduces the look of wrinkles and dark circles for brighter, younger looking eyes." And because of the gross distortion of how she looks like in the photo and then what she looks like in real life, this was removed by the Advertising Standards Authority. And here's a common kind of ad we've seen, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein. It could really be any designer, and just how abnormally, unrealistically thin this model is. And there's been an interesting phenomenon in Europe and in France specifically, and these laws just came out. So there was a new law in France regarding models and their weight, that models are required to have medical certificate confirming their general physical well-being as well as their weight, and this certification is good for 2 years. They also passed a law regarding photo digitizing, which said any commercial image of a model whose appearance has been digitally altered will be labeled retouched photograph. And there's a little bit of controversy with Lena Dunham. You may know her from her, I think it was 5 or 6 years series on HBO called Girls, which she was the writer and an actor. And this was her Vogue cover. And those of you who know Lena Dunham know this has certainly been done in her favor. Jezebel website magazine, they issued almost like a bounty, I guess you could call it. They were going to pay, it was either $10,000 or $20,000 for untouched photographs of Lena Dunham, for this Vogue spread. And so somebody responded, and so they showed how how the photos had been touched up, as you can see here. A neckline brought up, chin pointed, and so on. This was a little bit disconcerting to Lena Dunham that they issued this bounty because she did the Vogue cover knowing full well it was going to be altered in her favor, so to speak. And there she is in real life. And then finally, Kerry Washington appeared on the cover of Adweek, and she expressed her dismay, saying, she doesn't really look like that. So you can read through this. So you can see how controversial this whole practice of digital manipulation is. And it raises a lot of questions about the ethics of it.